Welcome to the Lodge Lockdown with your host, Frank Cronog.
Action.
Welcome to the Lodge Lockdown, and we are back again after a brief hiatus. Yeah, so we're a little scaled down on this one, but it will be no less interesting because we've got a couple of topics there that actually get some really good discussion going. So I'm looking forward to that. But before we go into what's going to be happening, let me introduce my two guests to you. First of all, is the man himself. Is Jake Wardle.
Hello again.
Welcome,
right.
Jake. And last but by no means least, he is the main man, as they say, and it's great to have him back. It's Mr. John Pericello.
Hello. Well, how can I be last? You're here. Like
The
one of us,
penultimate
there's three
guest,
of us.
The penultimate person.
There you go. Thank you.
That's it, yeah.
I'm the
And
penultimate.
hello there. And then there's me. Yeah, but less said about that, the better, really. So
I
let's
think
tell
that
you
would
what's
be my
coming up.
superhero name. Will be penultimate. That's like I get a cape, a big P on the front. He's always there right after the real superhero is like, you know, he's almost the second to last superhero to arrive or whatever. He never quite gets to solve the crime.
Penultimate
in the
Pericello.
Avengers series.
Yeah.
So let's tell you what's coming up on the show tonight. So we've got two topics tonight. First one is allergies. Do you have any? And what's the weirdest or quirkiest ones you've heard of? You know, any? And a very big, deep one we're going to be doing as well. So this should be interesting. We're going to be talking about, is there life after death? So let's see how we go with that. Also,
I've been waiting
that
for
the
that
facts?
question to be answered, by the way. I'm so glad you're finally going to tackle that because, from all my life, I've been thinking about that. And so I am waiting for an answer. And here we are.
it's a big one. It's a
big
biggie.
one. Yeah.
And we'll also be doing Is That a Fact? Yes, where I'll be telling you a fascinating but true fact to blow your minds. And also 5 random questions for one of my guests. Should be 50-50 on this, actually. So,
Chance.
narrows it
We
down.
could Rochambeau for it. Rock, paper, scissors, right?
I'll have to flick a coin, heads or tails, John, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we do that? Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's sort of tell you what's happening. So let's get cracking. First topic is it's allergies. So I'd like to ask you, this is where you have to be quite open and raw, I suppose. Do you have any? This could be food allergy, this could be allergic to anything really. Or do you know of any quirky or weird ones that you've heard of that other people might have? So let's see how we go with this one.
It's interesting that this
dive into it.
It's interesting this topic came up today because I mean I don't really have any allergies. However, according to some other people, I might have an allergy to gnat bites.
To what?
To gnat bites.
What's that?
A gnat is like a
Having them bite you.
a small
I gotcha.
mosquito. But in the UK we call them gnats. They're the little ones.
Like
Little buggers.
mosquitoes, sort of.
Yeah, we have small ones in the UK. We call them gnats. It's spelt with a silent G, G-N-A-T, gnats.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And obviously they're right pest, but they only come out in the warmer months, and it's starting to get warmer now. And yeah, I never considered myself to have a gnat bite allergy, but according to my mum and my girlfriend, after seeing me absolutely peppered like the other day and seeing the size of the bites, they were coming up like that big. They said that's not normal, but to me, they've always come up like that. So I'm a bit like, my mum reckons I've got a gnat bite allergy. I'm like, but I thought that that's just how gnat bites were. I thought they always came up that big. Bless you. I thought they
Excuse me.
always
Thanks.
came up that big for everyone. So apparently, yeah, I might have a gnat bite allergy. It doesn't cause me any problems. It's just annoying, just a bit itchy. And I took some Piriton tablets, and they've gone down. So
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing is that what would make it an allergy in your mom's mind and or girlfriend's mind is the severity of the reaction. Okay, because I mean, none of us handle gnat bites well, right? I mean, mosquitoes. All of us have what I would call an allergic reaction, right? And that's funny. I didn't even think you said an allergy. It's like allergy is kind of a vague thing, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of subjective in a way.
But even my girlfriend was like, "Oh, they've never ever come up that bad on me," because I had like a cluster of 6 of them in one spot. Like this one was having a feast,
Yikes.
and they're all really big. They came up really big and red and bumpy. It's like,
Well, there's another question. Like, how many of them got you? Was it just one,
I don't know.
or was it like a cluster of them? You
I
know?
have no idea. I mean,
Huh.
it could normally they wake me up, they buzz in my ear, but that I was sound though, and I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, my
And
God.
I didn't even notice actually until later in the day. So in the morning I didn't notice.
It
And then
wasn't
later in the
itchy.
day I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
a feast here, little buggers."
Yep. Fuckers.
But yeah, other than that, I don't have any, traditional allergies, thankfully. The only allergy I remember having food-wise was when I was a kid. I had this strawberry cream cake, and it gave me a rash on my chest, and that's it. Other than that, yeah, I've always been lucky with, allergies, I guess.
Have you had a strawberry cream cake since then?
Yes, I have. So it was
And-
obviously this particular brand. I have no
Huh.
idea what brand it was. I was only a kid, and it only ever happened once.
And
And
we
all the
can't.
strawberry cream cakes I've eaten since have been fine. It was just
All
that
the
one
cream
time
cakes, all the strawberries, and all the
Yeah.
strawberry cream cakes.
Just that one time when I don't know, I must have been about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. That's the only time I remember coming up in a rash after eating something. Other than
And I'm
that, yeah,
afraid that that's not very scientific, Jake. I'm afraid that we don't have the control group. We're not able to isolate all of the elements that were going on in your life that day, like what else happened, temperature, other foods, people that are around that might make you anxious, whatever. Like all sorts of things could have been going on at the same time.
true.
I think to blame the
Yeah.
strawberry cream cake is maybe not fair. It's a
That's
little
the only thing I
judgmental.
can think of. That's it. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
Just
So-
saying you're jumping to conclude. You're being a bit rash. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
That's-
ladies and gentlemen.
John's available all week, by the way.
That's right. I get paid to be funny. Weird.
Right. Have you had any rash allergies, John?
Well, I think my situation is similar to yours in that probably I think more than once, maybe twice. That's why I've sort of decided that it's and it's not 100% of the time. So it may be the way that it's prepared, but ironically, as an Italian, eggplant, if I eat eggplant and it's cooked a certain way, my tongue starts to kind of, it doesn't swell up so that I can't breathe, but it feels like it gets a little bigger and is a little sort of fuzzy feeling or whatever.
Huh.
And it's very odd. And at this point, I just avoid, like, I'm not willing to do that science that either, like it happened, I think twice. And I decided, much like you did, I decided that's what it was. It was the eggplant. And so I just haven't eaten eggplant in decades,
You
because
just reminded me. I actually do have a something similar, not with tongue, but with insides, and it's quinoa. So I've not touched quinoa since because it makes me all
wow.
loose.
I just had it for dinner last night and the night before. Because it's a way for me to get protein without eating meat. Yeah, which I do eat meat also, but try
so
that.
Eggplant, we call that aubergine in the UK.
Aubergine is the name of the vegetable.
Yeah,
Aubergine.
But I know
Oh,
what it
that's
is.
be-
Eggplant, aubergine. I know the two terms.
Aubergine sounds better. I like that better than eggplant. It's
Yeah.
kind of more. I mean, why is it an egg? There's no eggs. The
Yeah,
hell is it called an eggplant for? It doesn't make any sense.
exactly. There you go.
Yeah, it's very
Another
weird,
Atlantic
differences
pun
of some
difference.
foods.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's right. We'll.
I think I've got an allergy to peanut butter.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be
shit.
horrible for me.
Oh,
Yeah, because I hadn't had peanut butter since I was a kid, and I tried it a couple of months back. For the first time all those years, I just suddenly thought I fancy some peanut butter, and I had it on toast. And the next day, I was really quite ill from it.
Oh. What were your symptoms?
My stomach was really bad. And then I thought, well, maybe it could be something else I ate. So I did process of elimination and sort of backtracked on what I ate. And I didn't eat anything that disagreed with me previously. And carried on for a few days like that. And I was fine. So I've got a feeling, I could be wrong, there might be something in the peanut butter that doesn't agree with me. Whatever the
how long ago was this?
Ingredients they put in there, I don't know.
How long ago was this, Frank?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
About 3 months ago.
Huh.
So 3 months ago, you had peanut butter for the first time since you were
About 3 months ago. Yeah.
For the first
I
time
only
since
did
you
it
were-
once. I only ate it once and never touched it. after
Jake
that.
really does bring up the essential question here. Is that really the first time you had peanut butter since you were a child?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what made you decide?
Yeah.
Like, you just
Yeah.
fancied it one day?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I might be just. It might have been a subconscious thing. I was probably watching things where everyone was talking about peanut butter and Jello sandwiches or something. And I thought,
But how did
fuck
that?
it,
How did that
I'll
not
have one.
happen before 3 months ago? People talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like weekly. Like you overhear that
All the time,
phrase
I know.
all the time.
But it's the only time that I paid attention to it.
No,
So,
Wow.
Jake's on to what's.
I didn't have
what
jelly
the
with it
issue
though.
is here.
No.
What the hell is going on with you only eating peanut butter for the first time in whatever decades 3 months ago?
Wow.
That's unusual.
Yeah,
But,
so you had it on toast, and that's like one of my favorite things to put
Oh,
on toast is peanut butter.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the only way I would have had it anyway, you know, regardless, because I like stuff like that toasted rather than just normal fresh bread.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste the same to me. It's nicer with a bit of butter or something, and then that, or well, you don't need butter with peanut butter. though.
And you know what
Yeah.
Elvis Presley did? He would toast it, put butter and peanut butter and slices of banana.
I've
So
had
you-
banana
and
peanut butter.
And then they deep fry it.
Good
I think after that.
Oh, and then deep fry. Now you're talking.
I mean, that's bad. It's bad enough as it is, but he had to go one bit further
Yeah.
and then deep fry it.
And you
after
wonder if
that.
it's sort of like a junkie, like it's like, okay, well, just one's gonna do me, and then now I need two, and now I need did he start going, okay, this isn't enough anymore. I got to deep fry it now.
So
Yes.
that's why that burger I had peanuts in it. There was a time I went to this restaurant once, and they had this burger called the Fat Elvis,
There you go.
and it had peanut butter in it.
There you go.
So now you just
That's
said
it.
that now, and it's like, wow. So that's because that's the one distinctive thing I remember about that burger. Obviously, the name stands out, Fat Elvis, and the fact that it had peanut butter in it stands out. And you just told the story of Elvis and peanut butter. It's instant connection. Wow.
Somebody sort of like in the late 70s or whatever, after his 68 comeback, he kind of declined into drug abuse and, a lot of health issues and stuff. And, people around him sort of taking advantage of him and whatever. But somebody, I don't remember who it was, told a story of being there in his house when he was had let himself go and was having lots of health issues. And he made that sandwich, and he was sitting there eating the sandwich and talking to the guy, and he saw butter running down Elvis's arm while he was eating it.
Wow.
And he just thought, this is the king, the king of rock and roll. And he's sitting there with butter running down his arm, just, high on whatever. And how far the mighty fall or something. What is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. The higher you go, the farther you fall.
I'd be devastated if I developed a peanut allergy, because that's my favorite nuts are peanuts. I love them. Absolutely.
I'm the
love
same
them.
way. absolutely. Yep.
And it's scary to think that some people actually develop allergies at random times in their life. I've heard that some people are not allergic.
Frank is suggesting that that's happening to him, isn't he?
Well,
Aren't you suggesting that you
Frank said he
have
was
now
allergic.
developed a peanut allergy?
You were allergic to it when you were a kid.
Well, at
as
least
well,
I think that was the case. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It might not be peanut butter I'm allergic to, but for some reason I had a reaction to it.
But when you had it as a kid, you said earlier, you you were allergic.
Didn't eat it much as a kid, but we had it now and again, and it didn't affect me like that. So I don't know if it's something to do with our change in physiognomy or metabolism. Something changes. Some things we like when we were younger, we hate now, or vice versa. I used to hate Brussels sprouts as a kid, but I can actually eat them a bit now. Christmas dinner.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I used to loathe them. I loathe
eat anything with butter on it.
Yeah.
Eat your shoe if you put butter on it. But that's an interesting thought, Jake, though. The idea that's a dark thought. The idea that there's some allergy waiting around the corner, just kind of they're watching you going, oh, he's really loving peanuts now, boy, isn't he?
Oh, God. Nightmare.
Let's wait until he loves it the most. We have the dials and the charts here. Let's wait until he absolutely reached the peak of his love of peanuts. Boom. And then we're in there.
Oh, dear. What a horrible
Yikes.
thought. But nut allergies, I still can't get over how severe they can be for some people. They can literally kill
them. Yeah.
And I've seen the news
like they don't even have to eat the nuts. The nuts could have been used on some surface and then cleaned off, and then something else is on there that they eat and they die.
It's just
fucking crazy.
It's insane just to think, how complex the human body is and how varied it can be. That just just the essence of it is enough to be fatal. That's just unbelievable. And yet we who don't have that allergy, we can eat it fine. It's just wow.
I always anytime I'm confused about something like that, I just assume that it's evolutionarily valid. Like there's some evolutionary reason for it, right? Like everything that we have built up a resistance to, whatever, 200 years ago, you died of a cold or whatever, right? You got the flu and you died. I mean, you do that now too, but you know what I'm saying? It's like over time, in the Middle Ages, you just died because the sun came up, and at 13 or whatever, you're dead. So evolutionarily, it seems like there's probably some reason for the peanut allergy. Like right now is that's something that our body's working against to get stronger and survive.
Or just a random mutation.
Yeah, exactly.
And also it's like lactose intolerant, because there's some parts of the world they never reared cows and never had any dairy, so they're lactose intolerant naturally, whereas in Europe we've been rearing cows, so we've developed lactose tolerance also.
Asian countries tend to not use milk at all, right? Yeah, they tend to not.
Or they I think they use the lacto-free version in our modern global age.
Yep. All right.
There was that story.
I actually have a problem with walnuts. I love walnuts.
As well. Yeah, I like those too.
I mean, they don't give me a bad after a stomach effect or anything like that. They're very good for you, walnuts. They're great. But the only thing they do is they take a lot of time to break down.
You're supposed to take them out of the shell, Frank. I think you're supposed to de-shell them.
Yeah, you get not the shell, but buy them when they're already out of the shells. You still get this you still get a film over them, like stuff that can get stuck in your throat.
Oh, the little things.
Because when you break them down,
like onion peeling,
tiny little bits, and sometimes they stick in the back of my throat.
Yeah, I've had that.
So I gag on them. I like them, but there's always that problem with having a coughing fit after eating them.
But I think that's a physical thing, not an allergy to the walnut itself, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to pretend that the walnut is a little brain.
It looks like brains. Yeah.
and a big, giant,
Oh,
powerful.
yes, that's curious. That the fact that they're supposed to be good for the brain and they look like little brains.
Yeah. Make you more clever.
When you choke on them, you don't eat them again, and then you're more clever.
Oh yeah. I should not touch them again, but for some reason I crave them now. I crave them
What
more than
about,
I do peanuts.
What about cashews? Are you okay with cashews? Because I like cashews as
I
well.
love them.
They're
That's my
really nice.
second favorite
Yeah, I
nut.
don't mind
Yeah,
them.
they're lovely, aren't they?
I really like
Yeah.
pistachio nuts as well. They're
Oh,
a favourite of mine.
pistachios, yeah.
I really like
Yeah.
them.
Pistachios are great, but I
like the
want
taste of
someone
them.
else to shell them. I want to get them already out of their shell.
Oh yeah, because there's some that you need a blooming hammer to get
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get loads and you'll be able to, break most of them, and then there'll just be like 3 or 4 that are just impenetrable.
I just don't. I guess you're not supposed to open them if they're not already cracked open, right?
Yeah.
If they're still sealed, you leave them alone.
And sometimes the cracks are too small, you can't get your fingernails into
Exactly.
it. Like,
It's tragic.
yeah. Look at us 3, we're nuts.
Yeah, we're nuts for nuts. 3 nuts.
But I feel so sorry for people. I mean, I guess if you've had a peanut allergy all your life, you don't know any different. But if you develop it and you really like it, it's terrible. But the ones
Well, and then you're like a kid and you go to the birthday party and everybody has to like know about your allergies. So you're that guy, right? Like you're showing up and it's like, oh, we can't have fucking peanut butter sandwiches because Billy's here.
Well, they do that on planes. I remember I was on a plane and they made an announcement. They said one person on the plane has got a nut allergy, so no one can have nuts.
Louis C.K. had a great joke about that and other things. He had a great joke where he said, I like to play a game called Of Course, But Maybe. And, he did 3 examples and they got progressively worse and worse. The last one was it's like slavery, I think was the last one. But it was like, of course, peanut allergies are a very serious thing. And they must be taken seriously and they can kill children. And my own nephew has a peanut allergy and I would be terrible if anything happened to them. So we must separate all the foods and we must, if one person on the plane has it, we must make sure that nobody else has peanuts. And, everybody must accommodate these few people. But maybe, if we just do this for a couple of years, the problem will be over. So that's his of course, but maybe, right? And then he gets to slavery, and everybody goes, what? How is there gonna be a but maybe with slavery? And then he does it. So anyway, I miss that guy.
Okay, now it's time for, is that a fact? Okay, here we go, boys. Here we go. Are you ready for this one? All right.
You know what you could do? You could do, is that a fact? Oh, except that they all are now. But next time you could do, is that a fact? And we have to guess whether it's a fact or not. Like we could vote.
You could do, yeah, you could do that, but
You'd have some fake ones in there too.
if you wanted. Yeah. Right. Is that a fact? Question mark. Pennsylvania's official amphibian is the snot otter.
The what?
No, don't look at me. I've
2019,
never heard of those either.
Pennsylvania. In 2019, Pennsylvania passed a law naming the eastern hellbender salamander, a snot otter, as the state's official amphibian.
Wow.
There you go.
Snot otter. So it's a
So
salamander.
you don't even really need it. It could just be snotter. I mean, you don't even need the whole. Make it one word. A snotter.
So it's a specific.
Snotter. Yeah.
It's a specific variant of salamander. You said a salamander, lizard,
Yeah.
and they just.
It's a hellbender
Snot
salamander.
otter.
It seems odd, or maybe that's the reason, is because it's odd. That particular part of the country, normally salamanders would be sort of in more desert climates, right? Or like here where I am in Los Angeles, you see them, and obviously, so down in the Southwest and the West and whatever. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's like their one cold-blooded whatever creature up in Pennsylvania, and so they said, well, that we're making that our state animal or whatever. I don't know. That's weird.
Where did the snot come? Did the salamanders like have runny noses or something?
It must do, yeah. It doesn't go into detail. It just got labelled that. It's one of various nicknames that have been got.
Not otter.
You know, for some reason. I don't know. They've got like scientific long name, which I can't pronounce, and then they've got these other sub labels for it, and one of them is that. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'll read that one.
Not otter.
But it's the hellbender salamander, so it raises hell by the sound of it. Yeah.
Hellbender. Snot otter.
I'm trying to look
He's
it up right
hell-bent,
now.
yeah.
Snot bender.
It's not-
Hell snotter.
Snotbender.
Snot. Otter.
No,
It's, I guess I
it's
wasn't
not
even
from
thinking about that.
Hellwater.
Like, why the name otter in a salamander? And
I
otter's
don't know. I
already.
can't get the otter thing because I see
Yeah.
the picture of the thing. It doesn't look anything like an otter.
It-
It just looks like a
And
black
how big is it?
amphibian.
Sorry, it's-
There it
You know,
is.
a salamander. It's got like the front legs on it, little front legs.
Ah,
Um,
well,
and a long tail.
it's a darker color like an otter, I guess. But that's where the similarities end.
And it's got quite a wide nostrils. Maybe that's the snot bit.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
There you go. Now you're going. And it actually kind of looks like
Quite
a
big,
big
quite big.
loogie, something you might have blown out of
Yeah,
your nose.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the big nostrils, wide nostrils. Maybe that's the otter part. Maybe the front of the otter looks like, it's got those
Okay.
two wide nostrils. Maybe
That's a good call, Frank. That's a good
Could be,
call.
could be that.
Things get
Other
things
than that, I can't see any
things have been
resemblance.
named for less reasons than that, for less good reasons than that. So I'll go along with that.
It's just, I guess the person that named it has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they got there first. Oh, I can
Yeah.
call it whatever I want.
Wasn't there a boat in the UK, a ship that they put to the public to vote for a name for it, and the public voted Boaty McBoatface or something like that?
Oh, Boaty McBoatface, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a ship. I can't remember what the ship was, but yeah, Boaty McBoatface.
Some
ship.
like
I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
it was a
exactly.
small
Something
ship.
that
It
was
wasn't a
supposed
big
to be
one, I don't think.
dignified. You're right. I do remember that. Jake. Yeah, like the Queen's boat.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's not even, oh, I'm not calling it that. Yeah. I'd rather call it snot otter.
Snot otter.
Right. I've got 5 random questions for one of my guests. Right. So it's 50-50 on this one. Place your bets now as to who it might be. And I'm
Running
going to
out of
pick it
time.
completely randomly with my finger.
What? How are you?
And
Yeah.
everything all right?
Meetings end in 10 minutes. So
Okay. Right. Okay. And the person is John Piricello.
Oh, oh.
John. This was not rehearsed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever. John, are you
Yes.
ready?
Frank, I'm ready.
Right.
We've got 10
Question
minutes.
1. Question 1. Here we go. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
The rudest? Cats, probably.
Yeah. I can
Like,
see that
fuck-
straight
fuck
away.
all
yeah.
of you. If I were bigger, I'd eat you. Yeah, they're the most aloof, aren't they?
yeah, I could totally.
Yeah. They do what they
They
like.
say it all with the body language.
Exactly. That they do not. If you did not have food, they wouldn't be there. Yep.
Yeah. Question 2, John. What would be your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse?
Oh my god. Like a Gatling gun. I guess, right? A big 50 caliber Gatling gun on the back of my Toyota pickup truck, like ISIS or something.
Gatling is the hand cranked one.
Oh, okay. Well, then
It'd be the modern version would be the minigun, the one that spins.
yeah, that's what I want. I want a minigun. Like it,
I'd
like in
that gun-
like
I'd
in
that
Grand
gun in
Theft Auto.
Predator, but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the gun they used in Predator? You know, the guy that blows the whole jungle up with it, and it's going around and like that.
I
Have
think.
you seen Predator?
Yeah. The
The movie? Jesse Ventura does it. He rips into the forest with it. This thing's like an unbelievable thing going spinning around. You know.
Well, in
That's about-
in GT, do you guys, you don't play video games in
Yeah,
GTA
GTA,
5?
yeah.
Yeah, GTA 5. That gun comes up after a while.
I find it funny how it's called a minigun.
Yeah, minigun.
Not exactly mini.
Yeah, quite ironic.
Ironic
Yeah.
name, yeah.
Yeah. You
Now,
should see
now you just need to
you see the big
focus
one.
a snot otter with a minigun. World of Strange.
Yeah, that's a good day when you see a snot otter with a minigun, boy. You're not going to see that every day.
Exactly.
We
That's a
rule the
good
world. You know that. Yeah.
Hey, why don't let Jake answer this one?
Oh,
Whatever.
the zombie apocalypse weapon.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, if you're gonna be, I guess, well, there's the fun version, like the action film version, like a minigun, and then there's
You're going to be practical,
then there's
aren't
the
you?
practical version. It has to
Yeah.
be a melee weapon, obviously, because of limited ammunition, or maybe like a crossbow or a longbow.
Doesn't their head have to come off or?
Well, it
get
depends on
exploded?
the universe, on
Uh,
what the virus is in that particular universe. So in The Walking Dead, of course, it has to be the brain. But then there's some other universes where it doesn't.
So if you had a blowtorch, it's not going to kill the zombie, the blowtorch, the flamethrower. I mean,
no, I think no, it wouldn't, because if it's unless it was concentrated enough to like melt the head, then maybe.
so okay, there you go. Laser gun,
Laser gun,
lightsaber.
Yeah. Lightsaber.
I would have a lightsaber.
That's the fun one, and obviously a practical one would be, I guess, a sword or a bow or a crossbow.
Jake's gonna live longer than me in the zombie apocalypse. I think you and me are fucked, Frank. And Jake's gonna rule the world.
I was
How
thinking.
about you
actual
start off
stuff,
with the minigun,
Yeah,
and then have your melee weapon and bow and whatnot as in reserve. So then once you've taken out the majority of the horde with the minigun
Yes.
out of ammo, then you have the melee weapon to defend yourself against the stragglers.
your whole life would be about procuring ammo, like sun up to sundown. Ammo.
I mean, in the Walking Dead, I mean, I still watch it. I know a lot of people haven't got up to the latest series yet, but I love zombies, so I still watch it. And they're at the point where it's progressed to the point where ammo is very rare, and they're mostly using melee weapons and longbows and spears and stuff, makeshift spears and that. So they did take that into consideration. They burned out most of the ammo in the first 5 seasons or whatnot, and now they're
That's good. Well, that's good that they're taking that stuff into consideration. That makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, what's next, Frank? We're running out of time, aren't we?
Right. What we'll do, guys, is we'll cut this part here.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, and Jake's helping me out with this, by the way, John. So because I'm having problems with my PC, I can only operate from my phone.
Action.
Okay, John, your third question. If you could be a fly on the wall, who would you want to listen in on?
Oh my God. It's such a creepy idea. I don't want to listen to anybody that doesn't know I'm there. Who would I listen? God. I want to be a fly on God's wall.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
What's he thinking? Yeah. Is he thinking, am I going to let John Piricello into heaven?
Yeah.
Or are you going straight?
You tell him Chad was just a character.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's not-
All of them. Every character I ever play is problematic. They're
I could
all-
think-
I know I was
particular.
convincing and I was good at it, but it's just the character.
I feel like I've said this before, but that Twin Peaks sort of exercised Chad from me, the real Chad in me. he said a great thing. He was Lynch was talking somewhere and talking about, you know, the myth that people need to, you know, be suffering, you know, for their art, and or that they need to be unhappy or whatever. And he didn't ascribe to that. And so that, coupled with him sort of calling me out, making the show for acting like an asshole, kind of changed directions for me. So once again, thank you, David Lynch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, come on. Let's go, Frank. Get on with
John.
it. Get on with it. I was in
Come on, mate. Take it easy, mate. Keep your hair on, mate.
I was worked with Helen Mirren, right? And so we're locked in a town car, and we're having to wait in this one scene. We spent a lot of time in a town car together, and we're waiting. And at one point she's like, early on, she goes, "Oh, get on with it." And I was like, I looked at her and I go, well, that doesn't sound like the Queen. This is yeah, this is after she's won the Oscar. This is back in like 2010 or something, right? And I said, that doesn't sound like the Queen. And she goes, no, it's not. And I said, well, what would, so get on with it. That'll be our whatever, our working class touchstone for that. Jake, I'm trying to not think about how good you are at accents right now and how bad I am. And so I said, well, what would it be? What would it be for the Queen? What would our touchstone be for the Queen? And we thought about it, and we came up with Not for the Faint of Heart. And so Not for the Faint of Heart, which is, by the way, I've been watching the Crown. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I fucking love it. I am not a Anglophile or royal file or whatever that's called. I'm not like, I don't really pay attention to them, and I'm not like obsessed with them in any way. I don't have any hatred toward them or anything, but I just don't, it doesn't hit my radar. It's uninteresting.
That's the same for most of us as well.
I'm unbelievably obsessed with the show, The Crown. Julie and I have we're one season away from being done. And it's just, we started with 4 and then we've gone back and watched 1, 2, and we're halfway through 3. Wow. Mind blowing. Just the script and the act. That's the other thing. I'm sitting there going, you fucking Brits, how come every single one of you is brilliant? Like there's not a weak link. You know, it's not the same. I mean, we have great actors in America. I'm not saying we don't, but I'm just saying all of them. Really, the guy opening the door for you for the Queen is amazing. Like what? How is that? What? It's stunning. And the only thing I can think is that you guys do a lot more theater than we do. I think maybe part of it. I don't know. Or maybe it's more revered in the culture or something as an art form or something, and not just, you know, celebrity or whatever, right? Maybe it's more, I'm sure you have that too. Yeah, you invented the paparazzi, right? But you know, anyway, The Crown. And then there's you know, because Philip speaks like this, you know, all of the really proper people have it's and then Gillian Anderson comes in and she's, Your Majesty, you know, it's like very, she's got this different sort of, so listening to all these different accents. And then when they go up to Scotland and they go to Wales, they were just in Wales, you know, it's really cool to hear all and they spend about $12 million per episode. I went and looked it up. I was like, how on earth is this on
that's
television?
A lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Just sweeping, like epic shots and just like the, you know, just at Buckingham Palace, you know, they've somehow created Buckingham Palace because I know they're not shooting there, you know, so somehow they've created that, you know, maybe some different palace or something they're obviously using for it. But I'm just blown away by that show. I know I sound like I'm an advertisement for it now, but the
I've heard it's really good. I've not.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
And Morgan wrote The Queen. He, of course, you know, Peter Morgan wrote The Queen. That's where it all started. And then he's just like, this is so good. Why don't I make a, you know, TV series out of it? And it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, yada yada.
Cool.
And it's like I said, it's daunting how great the British actors are. That's absolutely.
Thank you.
Daunting. Yeah.
That's very kind. That's very nice of you, John.
Yeah.
I know there's some great American actors, you know, it's across the board really, you know.
We do, but it's sort of like
you do have some really good
there's
standout.
there's very much there's a couple of, you know, 1, 2, 3 stars maybe, you know, and then you've got sort of secondary people, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. There's not a weak link. You watch The Crown, and like every single you know, they're like in often you see extras, right? Extras sort of try to steal the show, or they try to go, you know, make sure they're looking, you know, to get on camera so that they can upgrade to a different pay scale or whatever it is. God bless them. You know, they had this scene where they walked through and met each one of these family members from the horrible, you know, mining accident that happened back, you know, in the, whatever that was, in the 80s, right? Each one of those people was just magnificent, and they had like one line, you know, or even no line, some of them, and they're just heart-wrenching, you know. Anyway, don't get me started on The Crown. It's a great advertisement for just the skill level of British actors, you know. Incredible.
Fantastic.
Okay, John.
Yeah. You're gonna cut all that out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Who has time for any of that crap?
Will I do that? Your next question, your penultimate question, John.
Oh, my penultimate.
is-
Oh, Jake, that could be your superhero.
We're back to the penultimate again. Have you ever taken items from a hotel room?
Well, yeah, I think when I was younger, I would take all sorts of shit, you know, I mean, towels and whatever. I don't anymore, mostly because I just don't need anything. And secondly, I don't steal things anymore. And I used to steal things when I was younger. So yeah.
You're reformed.
Yeah.
Hotel.
Well, I think when you're younger, you're so self-centered, right? You don't think about a victim on the other end of it. You just go, oh, this is a hotel and whatever. But now it's not. It's like somebody has to pay for that, and they have to replace that, and that cost is going to, you know, be passed on to the next people that come in here and try to stay here and whatever. There's a whole obvious. I'm not saying anything you don't know already, but it's yeah. I think a good example would be like a robe, right? There was probably a time where I would have just stolen the robe. And now if I really want that robe, which has only happened maybe once in the last 15 years, I pay for it. So there you go. I'm sorry, that's not a more interesting answer. Yes, I steal. Basically, whenever I go to a hotel, I take the mattress, I take the television, the furniture. I leave that room empty.
Does it fit nicely under your coat? They won't notice.
Well, I just do it, you know, I have to go
fold
through
it right, I think. Fold it in the right. You can get it under.
Fold the bed in half and
put
stick
it under my
your
jacket. Yeah.
If it's like GTA when they have like a minigun and a rocket launcher and that packed under their clothes.
Yeah, and it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, just
Yeah. inflatable hotel room. Just blow it up.
Yeah, no, what I do is I back a truck up to the window, and then I just send everything out the window into the panel truck and drive away. I don't even need this stuff. Huh?
When I was a kid, I actually used to try and do what they did in GTA. Not for real. I mean, like with the toy guns, I'd try and stick as many under my clothes as possible.
Yeah.
You know, to see if I could do their ridiculous an entire armory under their clothes.
And I'm guessing it didn't work.
It was a bit bulky.
It's a bit bulky.
Yeah, a bit
but
bulky.
you tried. The main thing is you tried.
Right, yeah.
That's the main thing. You had the idea, and you
had a toy assault rifle, toy pistol, toy submachine gun, toy bazooka, everything. Just like, oh yeah, easy peasy.
I think my favorite are the sticky bombs. Like when you when you blow up the doors on the armored truck with the sticky bombs. That's always fun. Wait, click, boom. Yep, it's good. that game was sort of existential for me in that after I like beat it, right? Like after I had all the money and I'd done all the things, my kid even gave me a book. So I went through and made sure that I'd not missed anything and just completely decimated that game. I would go back and play it and just like wander around and, you know, shoot people, like steal, like go up to the Air Force base and steal a jet and just go, you know, create havoc in the city, you know, shooting missiles and stuff. And I just sort of realized, I mean, that's there's something almost like Nietzsche-esque or something, a nihilist about that or something, right? Like you get to the point where nothing matters anymore because I've won all the money and I have everything. And so what am I doing now? I'm just wandering around figuring out ways to like kill people, you know, and blow things up. It's like, it's kind of the dark place to get to. I actually put the game away. I actually closed it up and put the whole, it's in the garage. It's in the garage.
You should do a gameplay commentary in your character as Chad. Chad plays GTA. Put it on YouTube.
Can't eat in the lunchroom, huh? Well, how about this? How about a little of this? Boom. Huh? There's your lunchroom.
And your
Now
last question,
my
John?
kid wants me to play one of these games. I think it's a post-apocalyptic one. You probably know what it is. Like Fallout. He wants me to play Fallout.
Fallout's amazing.
Yeah.
Fallout games.
So he got me Fallout, and so now I'm in this moment, torn. Do I go grab the 360 out of the garage and start playing Fallout? You know.
That's Fallout's an addictive one.
Okay. I figured. All right.
Your final question, John.
All right.
Your final question.
These are going quick.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Which one?
Pineapple on pizza.
Oh my God. I don't do it, except that when when they do that one with the ham and the pineapple and whatever else is on there, I'll eat it just because it's so unusual. But it never occurs to me ever to order that first, on my own. Like if I'm getting a slice, never do it.
I don't get why people get so offended over it. I mean, it's not something that I would order either, but it's like, so what? Pineapple. So
what? Exactly. I'll even eat it. Like if that's the pizza that's at the party, I'll eat it and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, that's an abomination.
Oh yeah. People are crazy.
I had salmon on pizza when I went to Morocco, and I was like, why did no one think of this? This is amazing.
It's amazing.
And I've looked, and they don't do it in pizza. They don't do it in the supermarkets. I'm like,
no.
But when I was in Morocco, I was like, this is incredible. Why did no one think of this?
Well, why don't you just head back to Morocco then, okay? Because we don't do things that way here, all right? So go on back, get on your little boat and head back to Morocco where you belong, you weirdo.
My salmon on pizza.
I don't like olives or anchovies on pizza.
I like black olives on pizza, chopped.
I like black olives and I love anchovies.
Yeah.
But I don't like olives on their own. I only like them chopped up.
I don't like them on their own either. So it's not just the pizza I'm against, I don't like them as they are. But if people have got them on pizza, I have to pick it all off. I can't touch it.
Can't even you apparently can't even think about it right now. Like you're like this, you're going like you can't the idea of
the idea of peanut butter on a pizza, no, that's no good either.
I would totally try that. You've just given me an idea now.
There you go. You were just like, Jake, you thought you were all out of things to put peanut butter on. You thought you would run out.
I've even dipped carrots in peanut butter. That was interesting. I do like trying out weird.
That could probably work. That probably works. It's like a dip in a way, isn't it?
Or celery, like peanut butter on celery is a great snack. I've been eating that for a long time. Well, but it's a good transport device because of its shape. It like goes in. Yeah, that's
true. Yeah, it's a good shape.
It scoops it up. Yeah.
Capture the maximum peanut butter density.
Exactly. There's hardly any flavor to the celery. It's just
there we go. Then that might make me like celery then. If I mix it.
There you go. There you go. I think lives are being changed here today.
Definitely.
Yeah. We got the big question now, guys. This is the biggie, the last topic, which is, do you think there is life after death?
Jake?
So what do you guys think about that?
Yes.
You want to take this one?
It's a big one.
End of. Bye.
There you go. Boom. And roll credits. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, because you sent these to me ahead of time, I thought about it just a little bit because I realized thinking about things a lot is diminishing returns, you know? So I just thought about it a little bit. And I was thinking, like, I'm not even convinced, like this, there may only be life, right? There may only be existence. And so there would be no life after death because there's no death because it's just infinite. So I know the construct. The construct is there life after this thing that we're doing now? And I I'd like I'm more sort of scientific about it. If I don't understand something, I sort of look for something that I do understand and compare it to that, right? Like you probably do that too, like a metaphor or
Yeah,
whatever.
of course.
So
yeah.
if energy is infinite and can never be destroyed, and then it has to continue in some way.
Well, just getting on to, I'm a strong believer in reincarnation, and that actually does go. The only, I guess, scientific theory to back up reincarnation would be energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It
Right.
just takes on new forms, and
Takes on new forms.
What we're just essentially meat and bone. What animates us is energy.
Yeah.
What makes us is our soul, and that is obviously a form of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be created nor destroyed, so it must reincarnate. The details of which we don't know. What does it reincarnate into? We don't know. But yeah.
And it's kind of good that we don't know. I think it's good that we don't know. I don't.
We did.
Huh?
Might be too much to handle if we did.
I think so. I mean, and I don't know. But once again, I look at the thing that I do understand, which is like, here, we'll talk about Lynch again, right? It's like you look at a David Lynch thing, and it doesn't ever really explain itself, and much of what's going on is unknown. Almost all of what you're looking at is unknown when you're watching a Lynch deal, right? There's so much mystery to it, and that engages you. It pulls you toward, which to me, that's life, right? Pulling me toward. So the unknown is mandatory. In order for me to be alive, there has to be the unknown for me to be pulled toward it. I think, it seems like. And I agree with you. Like I was thinking Legos, Jake, like we're just Legos. Like at the end of the life, we just go back into the bin of Legos, and then somebody builds another, and then we're back there again, right? But the Legos don't go away, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many theories, and it's fascinating when you delve into it. But for me, it seems like you were saying you try to look for something that makes the most sense to your current understanding of the world, and for me, reincarnation makes the most sense to me.
Yeah,
and I don't know the ins and outs of it.
No,
it seems to be the most probable.
I mean, it'd be like if you ask like a 2-year-old, how does a superconductor work? I mean, what kind of an answer are you going to get? I mean, that's, probably closer. You'll probably get closer to the truth than you will be by asking me what happens when we die. Right.
Yeah.
We don't have the capacity to. So all of these things that we guess about what they are, even something as brilliant as reincarnation, is still sort of limited by our, like you say, our understanding of the world as we are right now, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the limitations, which are huge. If what you're up against is what we know next to infinity. That's why I was having this conversation with Julie the other day about how it's like in the whole scheme of things, like if you take everything there is to know, and then you take the smartest guy in the world and the dumbest guy in the world, it's almost the same. Like it's statistically zero difference between them, right? If you compare the gap between them, infinity, So
there was I can't remember if it was a philosopher or a scientist from maybe a couple 100 years ago, who said something that stuck in my mind. He said, we are like a person on a beach throwing a stone into the ocean of unknown.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Which is
always
why-
stuck in my mind. I was like, that is such a brilliant analogy. I really like that.
And,
You know,
and why are we so drawn to standing there and staring at the ocean? I mean, that's absolutely mesmerizing to most of us, you know.
Yeah.
Like you stand there and you look at that, or at the sky. You look up at the sky and you're just, you can't stop doing it, right?
and they say we know more about the moon than the deepest depths of our own ocean.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
It's most of the Earth's surface, and some parts go ridiculously deep. And then there was a documentary about the where they put this special probe that can withstand the pressure and went under, and there's all these weird, almost like proper alien like fish, and
we have no concept of how sentient they are, like what they're, they could be geniuses, they could be down there, whatever, who knows what they're doing down there.
And then they got the bioluminescence as well. I found that fascinating. It's like, where does that light come from? They're down there in the depths, but they're creating their own light out of nothing. It's fascinating.
Nutty. It's nutty. They were reincarnated from whatever, like a architect, from.
Do you think, guys, that we're all just? But apparently, we all vibrate on a certain frequency or something.
Yeah.
And we are ultimately all made of energy. So is it the sense the soul is like energy that just passes when this body?
That's how it seems.
I think
and then it goes off and inhabits another body again.
Things are measurable in waves, and then there are different frequencies.
I think we sort of had this conversation when we were talking about ghosts, right? Like back in the it was a similar conversation.
A little bit, yeah.
That they're just on a different frequency, occupying the same. There's no time, time is made up. So there's only now, and they're just on a different frequency. And
I often also think about the SETI program where they beam signals out, hoping to get fly. But I mean, say the signal hits the nearest, planet that may or may not have intelligent life on it. Even if it does, what if they're in what would be the equivalent of the Stone Age or the medieval age? Or what if, vice versa,
right.
There was an advanced alien civilization that had like radio tech or whatever, signal beaming tech.
That we don't have the ability to pick up on.
We don't have the ability to pick up on yet. Or maybe the signals reached us when we were, living in caves or
that's great.
Home, you don't have the receiver, you don't know it's there, it's not there, but we don't know.
And they're like, hey, we tried, okay, we reached out and nobody answered, so fuck them.
And it's like, try explaining Wi-Fi to someone even 100 years ago. But still, even now, I look at my modem, I was like, I can't see the Wi-Fi coming out of the modem, but it is coming out of my modem. But I just don't have the biological organs to detect that frequency. But this little device does.
But could Nikola Tesla, maybe when he looked, that's what he was seeing. He was seeing energy flowing around and how it was. I mean, and who knows how he happened, how, once again, what we were talking about initially, like a mutation, right? Like somehow he's a mutation. And so he's picking up on these things that the rest of us don't see.
Yeah, and some people, they do have extended perceptions.
Yeah, like there's people that can tell you what happened every second of their life, their entire lives is in their memory. Not to mention people that can multiply 100-digit numbers by each other, and give you the answer. I mean, it's. Obviously, there's so much more to what's going on than I can understand.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we're back to the wonder, right? Like it's the wonder that's got the three of us talking to each other, the unknown and the wonder that is connecting us, pulling us together towards something. So I'm all for wonder.
Same here. Wow.
I agree on that. Yeah. It's extraordinary. I mean, this thing of going on, into a different realm or a different dimension, wherever it is, after this one, is always going to be fascinating to me. I can't get enough of that kind of thing. You know, I'm always looking up documentaries about that, and
Yeah, same here.
you know, out of body experiences and all those sort of things where you can see effectively the other side, or you get a brief glimpse of it or a taste of it, but you come back. You know, now whether there's any real truth in that, I can't say, because how can we bring back anything physical to prove it? That's the difficult part. But so many people have these experiences, much like so many people have UFO experiences and so on, that are kind of like out of the realms of our beliefs sometimes. But could it be true though? If everyone's kind of saying the same things all over the world, there must be some kind of grain of truth somewhere.
You never know. Maybe,
you know?
maybe these things will be in the science books in 200 years.
Sure.
Because maybe we don't have the apparatus right now to detect these things, but maybe one day we will.
Well, that's why this one comes up over and over again for me, but it's not, to me, I try not to focus so much on results, you know, or answers, because it's more like my seeking the answer that seems to have the importance, and my seeking the truth, and my, so that because, you know, I act as if, right? Like that's what we do as actors, right? We act as if. I act as if there is a truth there. I act as if that, you know, there's an answer to this question, and then I seek it, you know, just like when we do our work, right? We act as if, and then we move, you know, we figure out our blocking and we figure out our lines and whatever, and then we move toward it. You know, we're not sort of focused on, because we don't know where we're going to go. We don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to end up or whatever. And that's so far beyond our pay grade, you know, that we just move toward it. Right.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
It's the kind of subject that we're only like scraping the surface of, really. We could probably spend hours doing just this one topic.
People do. Oh, do we have are we getting another 10-minute warning?
10 minutes.
The computer, see, the machines are controlling. My kid was saying the other day, something about like, she was talking about how she thought it was going to happen, that the computers take over or whatever, or what, you know, she's 18. And then I was like, what if they already did? And we're the machines. And she's like, oh, you know, sort of making fun of the fact that we don't fucking know anything. We know nothing, you know. That's
because if they were so advanced, they wouldn't want us to know. They could wipe our minds.
Yeah.
None the wiser.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been great fun, I must say. I have enjoyed having both of you on, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah,
John, Jake.
Really good to see the both of you. What are you working on, Jake?
An Apple TV series.
Which one?
It's all confidential.
That's fine. That's fine. No biggie.
No, it's
one of those British ones where everybody's a great actor.
No, it's an American series, but they're filming it over here.
Okay.
So yeah.
You guys.
Are you doing anything American, John, over there where only about 3 of the cast are good actors? Or
actually, on this weekend, I'm going to go to Atlanta for 6 weeks. I've already shot a week here, the exteriors, but we're shooting a movie called The Valet. I did sign an NDA, but I'm on IMDb, so doing.
Oh, if they've already said you're in that project, then I guess that's fine.
Yeah, then I can tell you.
But obviously, they haven't announced me yet, so I'm only allowed to say that it's an Apple TV series.
Oh, very cool. Oh, good for you.
Yeah, Congrats. I've filmed. I've done 2 weeks so far, and then I'm filming again next week, and then the following week, and it's brilliant. It's so good to be on a production again, big production.
Is it in London that they're shooting?
No, nearby.
Okay.
Nearby, yeah.
Right on. But you don't have to stay in a hotel. You can
sometimes if they want us in really early, they'll put us in a hotel close to the location, so they makes it time wise good.
Nice. Oh, good on
Make
you,
sure
man.
you don't steal any
Can't wait to
items
see
from the
it.
room, hotel room. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be obviously I will be keeping everyone updated when I'm allowed to. So
Yeah, we look forward to it.
Yeah.
I track you on IMDb. Track you. Keep
That
track.
sounds a bit mysterious. I'll
It
track
really
you
is.
down.
It's
Right.
literally a thing you can do on IMDb where you push track, and
I
then
was in the
whenever
track. I
something
didn't
comes
know there
up,
was an actual tracking button. I didn't know that.
it's on the pro version.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ah, interesting.
anyway, that's cool. I'm glad you're working. May you
And
continue to work.
likewise.
Thank you.
'Cause it's been horrible.
Yep,
For everyone. It's just
we're coming back, man.
we're coming back.
Coming back, and the world needs to be entertained. So we're coming back.
Absolutely.
Coming
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to it.
And the other thing that's happening as well, they've been doing these test things over here, John. I don't know if it's happening in America now, but they're starting to test larger groups of people in indoor venues to see
In what?
how the COVID thing, strain goes. They're doing they started doing gigs over here to test the COVID situation
Mm.
with 1,000 people or so inside a venue. And it's
Yeah, they have to have
just
like a
started doing
negative
it.
result or
So-
something, negative test result, and they'll let them in. And then they'll see,
Yeah.
is it secure enough?
Mm.
So they kind of build start to see they can build resistance to it, over a few months.
I'm guessing on the
before
production
COVID
you're
kind of
on.
lifts.
I'm guessing the production you're on is full on testing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same
Oh.
as this one. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
every day and masks in between.
Tests every day, masks, shields,
Yeah.
distancing. Yeah. And I'm vaccinated. I have so I got in just under the wire with my second vax, and then it'll be 3 weeks until I get on the plane. Whatever. I'm not hyper afraid of all this stuff, although, I am a little older and a little overweight, so it's probably not ideal. But before I got on that plane, I thought, what if I could just be vaccinated before I got on the plane? That wouldn't hurt, right? Can't hurt my health. So anyway, and I certainly wouldn't want to pass it on to anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're super, super cautious. In fact, I'm in the whole movie. I'm in throughout the whole thing, but they're all like quick little scenes like throughout the whole movie. There's no way there's 6 weeks of shooting for me. So I think what they're doing is like, I'm going to go there and just be locked down in this hotel for 6 weeks in Atlanta. It's actually on Tyler Perry's lot that he which is really cool. They built it in, I was out there shooting a few years ago and they were still building it. And now I'm going to be on it, like working on it. So that's cool. But yeah, I have a feeling we're just kind of going, get in the hotel, shut your door and shut the fuck up. And we'll tell you when to come over and work with your hazmat suit on. And then you can go back to the hotel room again, kind of thing. Because, there's a lot of people involved, as you know, right?
Yeah, it's massive.
It's massive. And there's so many people, ancillary businesses and workers and stuff, it's not, and that's not all getting shut down because of me. I'll tell you that right now.
You don't want to be the one to mess that all up that way.
Not me. Not on my watch.
No way.
So that's cool, man. I'll look for you, Jake. I'm glad you're working. And you look great, buddy.
Thanks.
So do you, Frank. You always look great.
And you too, John, and Jake, of course. And everyone that comes on here, it's always a thrill to see you all like this. It's just nice. It's like a little reunion to me.
Yeah, that's right.
As well, as much as like a show for other people, it's like a little reunion. It's very nice to be able to do that. Again, it goes back to the amazing technology we've got that we can do it. I'm always saying that, but it's true that we can connect like this. It's amazing. I still can't get my head around all that.
We live in
the
future.
Oh,
I'm so grateful, Frank. Thanks for keeping it going and having this.
You're welcome, John. It's always nice having you on and that. What we'll do, I think, guys, is we'll say goodbye now for the benefit of the audience.
Yeah, it's 2:34 now.
But if we have any more time left, we can continue talking after we say goodbye officially. So, thank you, Jake. Thank you, John, for joining me.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, guys.
Until we meet again on the next lockdown. It's au revoir.
Au
Take care,
revoir.
everyone.